Next up, at UFC Austin, we have Rodolfo Bellato taking on Ihor Potieria. Rodolfo Bellato, 11-2 overall. 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off a win on the Contender Series about a month ago. He's taking on Ihor Potieria, 20-4 overall. 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that TKO to Carlos Ulberg. This is an interesting matchup with odds that are a bit wide. Ihor Potieria is a good striker. He's got a loose style. He's got solid power, good accuracy, but he can be hittable because he keeps his hands really low, and then he relies on his chin, and he ends up in a slug fight. He tries to make you pay on your way in. If you're shooting takedowns, he's going to hit you. What?
A slug fight?
Did I call it a slug fight? Like a couple of slugs just squeezing all over the place?
I think you did that last time, too.
Slug fest. There's no way I said slug fight. Why would I say slug fight?
$100,000.
I definitely said slugfest. He'll end up in a slugfest. He'll defend some takedowns. His takedown defense is not great, but what he does do well is he'll hurt you on the way in. He'll uppercut you. He'll knee you. He'll make you
Someone
pay for
said,
that.
"Get the salt." Remember, we had that whole conversation.
Yeah, I remember that conversation, but I didn't say slug fight. Anyway, he'll hurt you on the way in to get you questioning, should I be shooting another takedown or not? He's got 4 fights in the UFC, all of them, including the knockout wins. He was basically losing the striking exchanges and then was able to pull it off. Essentially, if his chin holds up, he's going to have a ton of success. And if it doesn't, well, he's going to get knocked out. He's taking on Rodolfo Bellato.
Oh, my dude, I'm sorry, but I read a comment, and I was about to say the comment. I looked up at your screen, and I think Tiffany walked past the door, and it scared the absolute bejesus out of me. It scared me to death. Is she peeking through now? Did I just see her, like, peek in?
No, that's the dog. No, she's at the door.
Jesus, I was like, holy.
Yeah, and the little dog,
guacamole.
the new dog, is just following her around.
It is, anyway, ma'am.
Yeah, that's the dog you see creeping. Anyway, I mean, the house is all very Christmassy. It's all lit up. Anyway, he's taking on Rodolfo Bellato. Rodolfo Bellato is a heavy-handed grappler, so he's going to bomb. He's going to shoot takedowns. It's that simple. He will also stick around for a slug fest, but he's a grappler. Ultimately, he wants these fights on the ground. His takedowns could use a little bit of work, but once he does get it to the ground, he's got good control. He will chase submissions. He has 2 losses in his career. Both of them were to Vitor Petrino. The reason I mentioned that these odds are wide, Rodolfo should win. He has enough power to knock out Ihor. We've seen, that happen. He's got the grappling to take Ihor down. We've seen that happen as well. Bellato has been out cold. We've seen him out cold. So that's always a concern. That's a possibility. If we've never seen him knocked out cold, then it's like, okay, if they start swinging wild, I can trust Bellato's chin. You can't trust either one of these guys' chins. And they will both just stand there and bang. Bellato's probably going to shoot a takedown. He's probably going to win this fight. He probably hits a little harder. Bellato's going to be the pick. But minus 475 is absurd for a guy that we have seen absolutely unconscious. Bellato's the pick. I'm doing absolutely nothing with that information. What do you think, Jakey boy?
I'm actually surprised you went that way because I see it.
Picked him?
No, I'm surprised that I thought you would have been an Ihor. I can't Ihor. I don't know how to say his name. An Ihor. I thought you were going to be an Ihor hater because typically these guys that come to the UFC and they just start folding, get knocked out, you're like, this guy is trash, this guy is whatever. And this one,
I never call fighters trash. That's a you thing.
I don't know if I would ever disrespect anyone like that because these are all these are all professionals and they're all just working hard and trying to provide for their families. So I respect everything that they do. And in this matchup, I think that Ihor not only has a good shot, Angelo, I'm going to say right now, I think this is a 50-50 fight, and I think that he wins this fight. I understand that he is a chinny guy, as you mentioned. Bellato is the same guy. Bellato in his Contender Series fight.
Bellato's not as chinny, though.
I'm sorry. Because you had your turn, and then I thought it was...
You've interrupted me no less than 3 times. We're only on the 3rd fight, but go ahead.
You think it's been 3 times, huh? Let's start counting who interrupts who the most. And we'll do it. I
love that.
And we're going to start counting specifically in the Cody Brundage fight. And we'll see who interrupts who the most. But listen, long story short here, I think that these guys are going to brawl. Ihor is a guy that gets in, and he gets in brawls, right? He wants to get in your face. He wants to hit you hard. He wants to put people out in these fights. And I think this is a 50-50 fight when they start brawling. And the reason I give the edge to Ihor is I think he's faster. When I watch both these guys strike, I know that the Bellato came in his Contender Series fight. He fought kind of a wrestler that was coming off ACL surgery that wasn't really kind of there. That basically said before the fight, I probably shouldn't be fighting, but it's an opportunity, so I'm going to take the fight. I ended up losing a bunch of money. I was live for that fight, and I had no idea. Everyone told me to bet this dude, and then the fight starts, and they're like, oh, by the way, he just had ACL surgery 7 months ago, and I was like, hey, chat. Why didn't you tell me? What's going on with that? And there was like 3 people like, oh, we tried to tell you. So maybe I'm a little bit biased against Bellato because he cost me a little bit of money, but I think this is a very close fight. Minus 400, as you said, for Bellato seems absolutely insane to me. I haven't seen anything in the film that says, oh my God, this guy is the next guy. He's durable. Right? He comes in, he's a good striker. He can stand in front, he can put pressure, but I don't see crazy speed. I don't see crazy power. I don't see, I like his story. He's come up. He kind of wanted to avenge those losses from Vitor. He got his UFC contract. We've seen what Vitor's doing to people, but I think Ihor's going to make this a nasty fight early. I think it's over quick, and I think Ihor's got the speed advantage, so I'm going to edge him in that way. This isn't like a lock of the week situation. This isn't like I'm so confident in Ihor. I just think for the value, as Angelo mentioned, minus 400 to plus whatever it is, plus 300 or whatever for Ihor. Yeah, I'll take a little bit of a flyer there. I think for the live stream, we're going to be on the Ihor side. I will be live for Saturday for this card too, so I think we're going to play the Ihor side on that one.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think Bellato wins this fight because I think he's the more well-rounded, more dynamic fighter. But 4-1 is wild, and plus 375 on Ihor is crazy. I don't know what Ihor inside the distance is, but
let me check for you.
Sure, it's better than 375, which is also already crazy. Also,
400. Do you know what inside the distance is for Bellato?
What?
Minus 250.
It's lower than the money line. That's so funny. Anyway, Bellato looks like Angelo's future son. That's like a compliment. This is a handsome dude.
Angelo can't have sons.
Yeah.
There's no man in those balls.
You were there weren't you there for the gender reveal?
Oh, I was there. I was up in Connecticut, beautiful Connecticut.
Thank you so much. We did the gender reveal for my youngest. And it came out pink, and I was like, oh. And then my aunt just walks up to me, whispers in my ear, takes a man to make a man, and then just, like, kept walking. Like
I feel if she ever sees that video, that's going to ruin her, your youngest, because your face. I think I don't think I have it anymore, but I think I recorded that to, like, send to my mom and stuff because they were all excited about it, too. And I think you literally were like, I think it was poppers, right? I think it was like poppers. Yeah. I think it was like, poop, and you went,
it was very.
It was like, the optics here are not great.
Well, and that was like, I'm like coaching wrestling. I'm there 5 nights a week, like doing all the things. It's like
that's like the cool new thing, though. Is everyone's all about.
Well, now I couldn't imagine.
Oh, they're great kids.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine having a boy, and honestly, the little one's boyish. But I couldn't imagine.
I know if I ever have kids, it's gonna be I know that it's gonna be a fucking boy, and that dude's gonna be badass. That dude's gonna be a
dude, it's gonna be the daintiest. That's gonna be
that dude's gonna be the badass motherfucker, man.
Yeah, okay. Just
my god, holy shit! Is that guy gonna take over the fucking world? Doesn't even have good
genes to work from. At least my kids have 2.
By the way,
very tall people genes.
I'll let you get the donations while I find this because it's a very important.
Well, let me wrap this up and then I'll do the donations. $9,600 for Bellato. He could get there. We've discussed Ihor's chin ad nauseum. Rodolfo also has the takedowns. Rodolfo could absolutely get to this $9,600 worth of value in DraftKings, but I'm not taking that chance. $6,600 for Ihor. For sure, if you're doing large field tournament entries, for sure, shoot your shot at some Ihor. Absolutely. He could 100% win this fight. He can put up some real numbers. Not safe enough for cash, but he's definitely a somewhat reasonable underdog for a large field tournament. If you want to unlock the DraftKings optimizer as well as the rankings and the write-ups that we do for DraftKings Fantasy that will help guide you and literally build lineups for you, just go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member. It's only $10 a month. You'll unlock everything from the bets to the fantasy, all the content in between. There is literally no other service on this planet anywhere near that value. That is a straight up fact. WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member.
I mean, the donations are like fucking what? Everyone. It feels like it's like after Christmas and everyone got a bunch of gift cards and shit, and they're just like sharing the wealth. It's like it's Thanksgiving. People get stockings and stuff for Thanksgiving. I mean, the donations have been crazy.
Well, Ty Wynn, I'm going to censor this, said, "Sorry guys, I made a mistake. Thank you, Jacob, for pronouncing my name correctly. You make me more proud to move to Indiana to get away from where I am now. Best decision ever." First of all, I'm going to look up.
We're at in Indiana, Ty.
He's not. Dude, what are the odds he's moving from Connecticut to Indiana? That can't. None of this is true. It can't be true.
I mean, I think that's the most moved in state in the country right now. I think everyone is moving to Indiana.
Because there's nothing but vacant wasteland.
You understand that where I grew up, where I lived on the lake, it's like hilly. People literally come from all over the country just to look at the leaves changing in Nashville, Indiana. Look up Nashville, Indiana.
Dude, everybody knows Vermont and New Hampshire have the best leaf changes.
No, it's Nashville, Indiana. This leaves
fake
changing.
Nonsense, dude.
Look at these pictures. Hold on.
I know what it looks like. I'm from Connecticut. I know.
But you think Indiana? You think Indiana is like this, like all just cornfields?
I've been to Indiana for
work,
stuff, and it sucks.
You know that
it doesn't get light out till like 10 a.m.
I mean, that's where I lived, in the hills of Brown County, Indiana. And you know what happened? I'll give you, here's a little fun little science fact. Sounds here.
Classy.
So the top half of Indiana is like pretty, I mean, it is pretty flat. Like, I mean, there's nothing there all the way to like an hour south of Indianapolis. Do you know why? Once it gets about an hour south of Indianapolis, why all of a sudden it's like super hilly and stuff? And it gets pretty hilly.
Meth labs?
Maybe. But no, it's from the glaciers. When the glaciers back in the day came, they stopped right there. So glaciers like flatten land when they come through, and the glaciers stopped right there. You can look it up. It's a fun fact.
That's incredible.
Did you know that pugs were originally born and bred to with short snouts so they could hunt and take down lions?
$2 super chat.
It's worth a Google.
From Patrick Watson, he says, "Are you guys going to Austin?" He's got a couple of beers for us. I cannot go to Austin. This is where having a family is a little tricky. Tiffany will be out of town. I will be in town. She's watching my two young kids. Living that life, right?
She's been going out of town quite a bit.
It's questionable. Actually, she hasn't been out of town. Wait, didn't she go out of town recently?
She was out of town a couple weeks ago for the last card, so seems like every Saturday night, every other Saturday night. There's a little bit of a pattern showing up here. Every other Saturday night, she's skipping out. We also had $9.99 from. Did you already get this one? Angel Tavares. Hola, Jacob. Mi hermano Latino. That's my Latino brother, man.
I know. Angel's the one who calls into the show, right?
I think so. I think I recognize that beard.
We appreciate you.
That's his first super chat.
$1.99. Dude, it does. They are pouring in from Patrick Wilson.
Crazy. Oh my God!
Not gift cards. We just appreciate you, fellas. Well, thank you, Patrick. We appreciate you and the rest of the community, which is why we're doing a $1,000 giveaway. So rewind if you don't know what that giveaway is about and follow the rules. We're
never going to get to the breakdowns. Or the donations just keep coming in.
$5 from Ty Wynn. Got better job opportunities in Indianapolis, Indiana, thanks to all the conventions. Well, because it's just vacant land. Well, I make great tips as a server and make even more money betting. Well, thank you very much, Ty. We appreciate it. Good luck.
It's called. Do you know what the motto for Indianapolis is?
Sorry, you're here. We know you're just connecting flights. Wish the food was better.
Well, it's called the Crossroads of America. It's called the Crossroads of America, and for good reason. It's a great location. There are a lot of conventions there because it's like kind of right smack in the middle of everything. It's close to. It's got a nice, brand new not brand new now, but nice airport.
Nobody gives a shit. What is this? The travel committee?
Downtown is the most walkable city you've ever seen in your life.
Nobody
Back in the day,
cares.
there wasn't a single homeless person. Now it's a little bit fugacious, but you can walk anywhere. That you can go even in winter. They have the underground tunnels to get to.
We got to move on. Nobody cares about Indiana. Nobody. $10 super chat from Robert. Robert Pritchett says, Jacob misses pitch 1022. What about UFC 300 in Vegas? Oh, is that another graphic?
Is that? Do what? No. I think that was their Instagram name. I think I did see that.
Oh.
I'll look into it.
UFC 300 is probably not going to be in Vegas, but I'm
Maybe
definitely
MSG, right?
I'm hoping it's at Cowboy Stadium, and we will go if it is.
I don't think.
I think if they can do Conor
Dana
McGregor at
loves-
Cowboy Stadium,
I think Dana loves MSG for big events.
well, because it's the most famous arena.
It's the Mecca.
Yeah, it's literally the most famous arena. Anyway, $2 super chat from the next Lennon. Two things. Christmas starts November 1st. Second, Jake, you to go. I'll agree with both those things. Christmas does start November 1st. It goes Halloween, boom. Christmas.
Here you go. So I couldn't go to Thanksgiving because I was busy. I was so busy, I haven't even put up my Christmas lights. Usually on my balcony, I put up my Christmas lights. Haven't even put them out. I don't think I'm going to do it this year. I think I'm going to boycott.
You show them.